Hello and welcome to another TrekMate review. This week we're going to be reviewing another Enterprise episode. This week we're doing E Squared. It's season 3, episode 21, and was first aired 5th of May 2004. I'm Jude Hawkins, and I'm here with my buddy Wayne Emery, as always.
Hello, good sir.
Hello, mate.
This is one that I suggested for us.
Yeah, I hadn't remembered it when you first suggested it. You had to remind me what it was.
Yeah, and I just remembered it, wanting to revisit it because I remembered enjoying it when it was first on.
It's an odd one. I did enjoy it, but it's kind of strange because what got me about it is it's part of a story arc of the main story arc in season 3 and 4 with Enterprise, with the Xindi and the attack of Earth and everything. But it is a bit of a sort of lone episode as well.
That's the thing. You could class it as a stereotypical episodic episode of Star Trek, because if you skip this episode, you would not have known that anything happened.
Yeah, you could do easily, yeah, and you'd be fine.
Yeah, you would have been absolutely fine with it. But as you said, it is also right smack bang. Well, not even in the middle. It's coming right at the end of the Xindi story arc, because it's right to. I think it's only 4 episodes before the end of the season. So
Of season 3, yeah.
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 So watching this episode on its own, unless you are familiar with the actual ongoing story arc, I can understand why somebody might get confused.
There's only a few bits there to get lost with what's going on regarding the arc, but you can still enjoy it as a standalone.
Yeah,
to an extent.
Yeah, I think that you can. I think that you can because that's the thing. It's not as if you only have a couple of scenes that involve the Xindi heavily.
I mean, I don't think it's worth us, to be honest, because we'll be here all night going into the story arc of the Xindi. If people don't know it, we can talk about that more in a more Xindi heavy episode, can't we? When we review that. But all's is really worth bringing up is T'Pol and her dealing with her emotions and stuff, which she doesn't do well in Enterprise at this time. Especially after sleeping with Trip.
Yeah, she's really struggling with suppressing her emotions.
She takes some drugs or something, doesn't she? She's prescribed something by Phlox to try and block it out, but like it's not doing her any favors. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. She's got to realize that she can't block that stuff out. She's got to deal with it herself. And the only other thing worth mentioning is the Enterprise is going to meet with the humanoid sort of Xindi members.
Yes.
That's where they want to be.
To basically try and convince their government or leaders that
just to listen to Archer, isn't it? At that point, just to give him an audience.
Yeah, just to basically try and convince them that they're being played by the
naughty Xindis.
No, it wasn't the Xindis. Weren't they being influenced by? Was it the Sudaban?
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah. I mean, they've been there since season 1, so yeah, I think you're right there.
Yeah,
but we don't see any of that in this episode.
No, exactly. You don't see any of that going on in this episode. Starts very much where they are going to be taking a shortcut to get through to meeting up with their allies in the Xindi.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wormhole, isn't it?
I
assume it's a wormhole.
I don't know if you can call it a
spatial
wormhole.
rift?
Something like that, because they're going through time and space, aren't they? So I don't know what you call it.
Well, no. Yeah. No,
They just know that they're going to be taking a shortcut through some. They call it the Expanse or something, don't they? It's all uncharted. The whole time they're in there, they don't know what they're doing. Everything's supposed to be a mega mystery, more so than usual in Trek. But yeah, I think the episode actually starts out with the alternate Enterprise.
Yes, it does. It starts out with the Enterprise being helmed by
Well, it's not alternate as such, is it? It's the Enterprise from another.
From
What is
another
it?
time. Well,
I've got it written down. It's 217 years later.
117.
Are you sure? I've got 217 down.
No, I'm positive it was 117.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
That's what Memory Alpha says.
Oh, I'll tell you what else Memory Alpha says. And I don't know if they're having me on with this one.
Mm-hmm.
A character who gets revealed. Well, I'll say it now because he's in the first scene.
Who, Lorian?
Lorian, yeah. He turns out to be the son of T'Pol and Trip.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, his outfit in this episode is Jake Sisko's vest from season 7 of DS9.
I could probably believe that.
Yeah. We've got to, really, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we do have to. So, yeah, no, the Enterprise has been captained by a half Vulcan, who at that point we don't actually know who they are. But they're...
Not at first, no. I just got to say, we've already done the reveal now. Like, I like the actor choice. I haven't seen him in anything else.
No, I haven't.
But he does have a look about him where he does sort of look like similar to Trip. And, well, I don't know. I'll talk about him more later. I don't want to spoil too much now at the beginning, do everything back to front. But yeah, good actor choice.
Yeah, no, definitely. And to be honest, I liked the way that they explained very simply what had happened to throw the Enterprise back, just by having a brief flashback scene with everything black and white-ish.
Yeah.
Just to see, like, show how they got thrown 117 years into the past.
Yeah.
And because it was given over, like with the voiceover from Lorian explaining that it soon became apparent to the crew that they had to turn Enterprise into a generational ship because they weren't able to go back home. Otherwise, anything that they do could pollute the timeline.
Yeah.
And as such, absolutely screw things up. But
the one thing they didn't mind changing was preventing everything the Xindi were going to do to Earth. Basically,
yes.
that became their mission.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's lifelong passed down mission.
Yeah, no, exactly. Became that they had to try and stop.
That's it. They wanted to stop the initial probe or something that the Xindi sent down, but somehow they failed. They didn't manage to get to where they needed to be.
He said, I think they explained that the whole thing was that they were still just one ship, even though they knew when and where everything was going to happen. There was just one ship, but also it explained in an earlier episode when Archer was getting questioned about how many Federation ships there were.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because they had obviously bumped into the...
They'd been picked up at some point on the radar or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, it's nice. I appreciate when things have a little bit of continuity within the stuff that's been going on within the season.
Yeah, me too. Good writing.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? Oh, I've got all sorts of notes here, but they don't really matter.
No.
At first, when they first encounter the other Enterprise, they think it's Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
because that's the only other ship which is NX class at that time. We've got stuff going on the normal Enterprise, which plays into the story with the new one, with Trip trying to help T'Pol and stuff with her emotions and stuff, but she doesn't want to be helped.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm only going by what my memory serves at this point, but I'm pretty sure that because she had been away from other Vulcans for so long, that is why she was struggling with controlling her emotions.
Yeah, that was part of it. Yeah,
because
she's so used to having people tell her what to do and tell her what to think, but she's always kind of happy with that as a Vulcan.
Yeah. No, exactly, and also I'm sure that they do some special Vulcan meditating or mind melds or something else to keep on. Well, no, I don't think they would have done mind melds at that point, because I'm pretty sure
it was
they
illegal
outlawed
or something.
them for
They
outlawed them.
She
for
sort
quite
of
a while.
helped it become more acceptable.
Yeah. So,
but again, that's something for another episode.
Yeah. No, exactly. So, but
well, yeah, they meet up. The two ships meet up. Archer immediately gets introduced to a woman alien who's also called Archer, but he doesn't know the deal at that point.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I thought that was a nice touch that Archer didn't actually get with somebody from the crew. He got with somebody that he had rescued, and it was an absolute unknown species.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. That was enjoyable. It was interesting to see all of the different pairings going on.
I did find that quite amusing, those sort of storylines. The fact that like Phlox had like 20 kids or something.
Of course he did.
Yeah, it's Phlox, and then Reed, Malcolm, he doesn't get with anyone. So upon hearing that, he's a bit depressed about it, even though it's not happened yet and it's not going to happen. So it's not really worth getting annoyed about.
No, but also it was good to see him pick himself up and dust himself off like as soon as he had the chance inviting a lady over to eat with him.
Yeah, well, it's not my granddaughter. It's not my great granddaughter. It's Trip's or someone else's.
Yeah. So, and also at this point was also we had the meeting between T'Pol and old T'Pol and Archer.
Yeah, which is cool.
And I think it was nice to see, because T'Pol by that point obviously had much more embraced her feelings and was like not afraid of showing that she was happy to see.
Yeah, I think one of the first things Archer says is like, I can see you've been round humans for too long or something, like as a sort of joke, but in a positive way.
I just wonder if by that point she's actually got used to the smell by now.
Yeah. Yeah, I presume so. Well, she's probably wearing adult diapers as well at 130 years old or whatever she is.
She's got incontinence pads galore.
Yeah. Well, she's the oldest looking Vulcan I've seen on any of the shows, I think. I don't know if she is technically the oldest. I wouldn't know that. Someone will know that, but yeah, they make her look pretty old with all the makeup and stuff.
Yeah, they do. Well, you got to think. By that point, she'd been, they'd been trapped away for 117 years, and when she when at that point she was.
You mean you're looking for her age before?
Yeah,
that.
I'm just trying to think. She was born in 2088.
That's a running joke in the show, though, isn't it? Like Trip and Archer are always trying to find out how old she is, and she never wants to tell.
2153. Okay, so she's and well, they'd obviously been there for 117 years. She
Mm.
was born in 2088, and I think this episode happened in about 2153. So by that point, she's already 65.
Yeah.
65, so she would be about 170, 80 odd.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense then with the look that they give her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is? I guess that is it, isn't it? That the lifespan for a Vulcan is about 200 years, roughly.
Yeah, it's around there because you got to think Spock was still going strong come Nemesis
Hmm.
timeline, because obviously a few years after that he went back to the Kelvin timeline. So, and that was a good 100, probably 150 years
But then again, Bones wasn't
after
that far behind
TOS.
him, and he was a human.
Yeah.
It was only 7 years before that he was pottering around on the
Mhm.
D.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. He's humans obviously have improved their lifespan
Yeah, healthcare or
considerably.
whatever.
That's it. Federation healthcare is obviously
Yeah,
a lot better than nowadays.
yeah.
Um. So yeah, no, I enjoyed seeing the interaction between Archer and T'Pol.
But another interaction, what I thought was fun, or well, not fun, nice would be a better word, is Trip and Lorien,
Yeah, yeah, I
where
thought it was.
where they're trying to do work together, aren't they? They're trying to repair stuff and sort stuff out, but they're
Mhm.
chatting about their relationships at the same time, and we find out that Trip died when Lorien was like 14, which to us would be a lot younger than 14, wouldn't it? Like
Mhm.
in a Vulcan's life. So
Yeah.
um, but yeah, everything that Lorien's doing is he says he's learnt it from Trip's videos or video logs or whatever. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, Trip keeps asking about to Paul, how did this happen? How did that happen? It's a nice little scene.
Yeah. It is, and it is like quite touching because I think Trip even turns around and says, "No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your old man weren't around enough for you."
Yeah,
That's the thing. It is quite a touching scene. Though, to be honest, I think even when I first saw this episode, after watching enough time, like episodes involving time,
mm.
especially like the DS9 episode where they were stranded on the planet and they couldn't leave.
Yeah,
Trying to remember the name of the episode fails me. Um, I was expecting the young Enterprise crew to double cross the OG Enterprise crew from the get go
yeah.
because my initial thinking
It's
was,
too calm, isn't it? It was too calm an episode at that point. Too nice.
yeah, too nice, but also um, if anything dictates, it'll be a question of you in yourself create a paradox that if you successfully get Archer through the spatial anomaly, then the Enterprise isn't sent back in the past, so
It's weird, isn't it?
that then you don't have a ship that then helps you, then you do get sent back in the past, and then
I think me and you learned not to question this stuff once we became massive Back to the Future fans in the mid 80s.
well, the
you
thing
you
is,
just you just can't question it because you'll be there all day long, won't you?
the thing is, the way that I see it is this is more fundamental proof from which backs up the Kelvin timeline
Mm.
that there is no prime universe because
Yeah, yeah.
sh-
I think that's fair.
because obviously these the generational ship that arrives by them helping Archer to successfully go through the wormhole, spatial rift, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
Means that then they no longer exist within that timeline.
Yeah.
So it's created another alternate universe.
Yeah, you're right.
So I wouldn't think that ship is then vanished out of existence. It now only exists within that universe.
I mean, yeah, I'm talking about Back to the Future, but yeah, the idea of it suddenly disappearing, or things disappearing, is just silly. But yeah, what you said, I think they still exist there,
but within an alternate universe.
But they've just made it their, every single person on that ship has made it, especially Lorien, has made it their life's mission to succeed in not letting the Xindi win, at any cost. And that's basically what unfolds for the rest of the episode, isn't it? Is them seemingly being a bit naughty, being a bit bad, but they're still trying to do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly. But also it's a question of, I think with Lorien, he would have probably been one of the most convicted people to do it, because he would have been the only person from the first generation of children.
Yeah, he's going to be, apart from T'Pol herself, he's got to be the oldest person on the ship, surely.
Yeah, because they would have already gone through, if it's 117 years been out there, you've got to think that's probably at least 3 to 4 generations.
Well, yeah, if Trip died when he was 14...
If you say everybody, say if people weren't getting up the duff when they were teenagers, but they were waiting until they were 30.
Yeah.
And then you still got 3, 6, 9, 120. So yeah, that's like 4 generations.
Yeah, well, I struggle to remember what the girl is, the woman whose Archer's relation is. It's either great-granddaughter,
I think it was like great-granddaughter.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
Yeah.
I think it may have been great-great-granddaughter, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. And to be honest, without a leading force like Lorien there, surely at some point the current generation, they would have gone,
who the fuck is Archer?
Yeah, like, we don't know this fucking Earth. Why are we so invested?
Yeah.
Like, especially if we're going to potentially be stopping our own existence.
Yeah.
Because over 117 years, you must have at least had a debate on whether you are going to cease to exist or not by helping them.
Do you know what? I do some notes when we do these YouTube ones, but I've not done as many notes as usual. Did I imagine that Lorien says something to Paul like, when she's not seeming as enthusiastic as him about getting stuff done, he says, would you feel the same way if the Xindi were attacking Vulcan? Mm-hmm. Did I imagine that? Or
no, I think he did say that.
Something like that, because obviously, he's half human, and I guess he, for whatever reason, thinks it's more his mission now than it is hers. But I didn't write anything down regarding that. I'm not sure that's a thing.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think with T'Pol, it would have been even wanting to see it through, just to not only to help the humans, but more to honour her like fallen colleagues, her compadres, to honour Trip. So
she has the opportunity to meet Trip as well, doesn't she? Archer says, "I'll order him across," but she says no. Mm-hmm. It would be. I think she said something like it'd be weird or something like that.
Yeah.
So she's still thinking of him, because she could have been selfish there and said, "Yeah, I really want to see him," but like to him, it would be odd, especially when normal T'Pol's over there.
Yeah, exactly, and especially whilst normal T'Pol's being so hit and miss about everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, we do sort it out."
Oh, that's another thing I've not written down. They do speak to each other, don't they?
Yeah.
The T'Pols.
Yeah, they do. They do. But when she's speaking to Trip, she's like, be patient with her.
Yeah.
Like, be patient. Like, she'll come round. But I suppose whilst you're here and I've got a virile young man.
Take my nappy off. Time to get down to business.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember that. That's how it went down.
On Enterprise nights.
So yeah, no, and then
this is what happens when I don't write notes. It's how I remember it.
Yeah, I don't see anything. That's how my memory goes.
Yeah.
No, and so as you said, she does get to speak to Paul as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, obviously, they do manage to successfully get Archer and his crew through the said wormhole spatial rift to continue out their mission whilst being attacked by Xindi ships.
Yeah.
In the Expanse, and we never find out their fate, as it were.
No, we never hear from them again. I don't know if that might have been a plan. If Enterprise had gone a few more seasons, it would have been good to see that.
Well, no, I firmly believe that we would never have seen them again because of the whole different timelines, different alternate universes, shenanigans.
Yeah, it's possible, but you can't say more than you never know.
No,
you, really?
you
don't
never know. No, you never do. So, so how did you find this episode? Because obviously, being out of context slightly in the sense of we're not going through a rewatch.
It's a mixed bag. It really is an odd one. Due to what I said right at the beginning of this, it could be seen as a standalone episode, and it can play a very little part in a much larger story. It's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, you've not really said anything to me about it, but I don't think I'd rank it as high as you do. Maybe. Mm-hmm. But I find it hard to moan about many Enterprise episodes. I kind of think when I watch Enterprise in general, that they learn so many things from the other shows.
Yeah.
And, improved on it with this series. I can't even think. I'm sure there probably is something out there, but I can't think of a particularly bad Enterprise episode right now.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one that whenever I think of bad episodes, I normally will go to early TNG or Voyager or Season 3 of TOS.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think I even really go to Deep Space Nine either. Even though that doesn't mean I think it's infallible, but those just aren't my instant go-tos. And I class Enterprise as well, that maybe after another rewatch I'll be able to name you a few more. Yeah,
I mean, with all the series, I intend to rewatch everything, but there's just so much. And now we're just, partly because we're doing this, me and you are watching them all over the place, bits and bobs. But it seems we don't do actual ratings or anything. I'd just say that it's all right. This episode, it's okay.
I think, as you said, I do really enjoy this episode.
Yeah,
I enjoy seeing I enjoy seeing the dynamics of what could have been. I always find generational ships an interesting concept as probably our most realistic way of, in reality, getting to another solar system is with a generational ship. Because we just don't have the technological capabilities to get there any faster.
No.
So I find generational ships a interesting concept. And I just hold very fond memories of this episode, and but once again, we always recommend that people go and watch the episode and formulate their own opinions.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So, but please do, if you don't agree, let us know and tell us why you dislike this episode. Other than it being a Voyager episode, because I know some people will use that straight away.
Voyager? You mean Enterprise?
Enterprise. I mean, other than it, no, because people do love to rag on Enterprise.
Do. Yeah, we spoke about that the other week, didn't we? There's too many people who don't give this show a chance.
No, and if you haven't gave this show a chance, then no, you should.
Well, you're listening or watching this video, so you've got that far. Go and watch the actual thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Remember to give us a like, favourite, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know what you think by emailing us trekmate1701@gmail.com, or head on over to Twitter @trekmate1701, or message us or leave a comment on Facebook at facebook.com/trek.mate.1. As always, we appreciate you joining us for another TrekMate review on YouTube.
Yeah, thanks very much.
I've been Wayne Emery.
And I've been Jude Hawkins. And that was a TrekMate review.